I really improved in using my technology, in using some of the features that I had talked about in my papers before, like using Khan Academy or Code Academy, or using my calendar, my iPhone for syncing notes or syncing bookmarks. I think all some of the time I just wasn't utilizing those tools to their best abilities, and I think one big thing that this class has really made me reflect on is improving on just using the tools that I had, because a lot of the stuff in this class I kind of hadn't had prior experience on, but I kind of let it to the wayside just because I was kind of lazy in my studying by just kind of keeping everything on pen and paper, because it's a lot simpler just pull out a pen and paper than making a folder and writing down the note and then making sure it's organized. When in a notebook you just kind of close it, throw it in the backpack, and forget about it. And that's the big thing, is you forget about it, and when you do things on the computer or online, it's kind of a more uh, in a way difficult experience, not as simple as just writing it down, but at the same time, it makes you focus in on what you're writing, and it makes you organize it in a different way. And I think that's one of the big ways that I have improved. But what I need to improve on is still utilizing more video chat, utilizing more of screencast. I don't, and I'll go into further, I don't really like podcasts, but I can see how they're beneficial, and maybe having a educational podcast might help, but I I could improve in the ways that I receive media. I really tend to like video or text or pictures, and not so much audio. But I think that audio has a great place in our world still, and I think maybe by listening to audio while I'm running, I can kill two birds at one stone and learn and run at the same time. What specific texts interest me? Well, there's a whole bunch that could interest me. You know, I'm really interested in 5G LTE evolution technology. It's supposed to give us 1 gigabyte of download link through wireless data anywhere you want, with better range than current LTE. I mean, it's going to be a few years away, of course, but I mean, could you imagine downloading an HD movie to your phone in a few seconds, or just never, ever wondering about lag pretty much ever again? In the sense that whatever you upload, it's going to be, doesn't matter how compressed it is, that your internet connection is going to be able to handle it. And lag and 4K data is going to just become the standard, just because it's going to be so easy to to use and to control that bandwidth, which has been a big issue. Which one of the biggest issues with 4K rollout is that not so much devices can't have it, because we're starting to see more 4K TVs and more 4K computers, and phones have been UDHD for a while now. And but the problem is having that connection, that bandwidth connection, and just handling these massive data sizes and files. And LTE, the new LTE is gonna for sure help us out with that. But to this class, iPhones and tablets just completely interest me. I love mobile tech. I love being able to go anywhere you want and being able to do anything you want. Like, I could just grab my laptop, pick it up, go somewhere else, record the same thing, do the same thing. I'm only in my house due to comfort. There's no reason why I have to be in this place, in this location. I can just grab my laptop and go anywhere I want to go. And just that fact, in having that ability to move around anywhere with the internet, with everything, because I just sync up my phone to my computer, through hotspot, and I could be on the bus, on my computer, editing this video, doing my other homework, moving 60 miles an hour, going somewhere. Like, it's kind of some next gen stuff that we're on, and especially if utilized properly, it completely and makes your whole world seamless, in the sense that you don't have to drop things off anymore. Like everything that's on my computer is on my iPhone and vice versa through iCloud, and I just pay like I think 99 cents a month, and I just buy some, like I think I have 100 or something gigabytes from Apple, and I just put everything on there, and I have my Apple Music, and so I like a song on my iPhone, I click like, that same song that's liked gets automatically downloaded to my computer and my iPad at the same time, and I click the one button. And having that syncing and having all that done over wireless technology and having a good signal the entire time so it doesn't crash. I don't worry about if I'm going to get that link or not, or if I'm going to get that song or not. I don't worry about those things anymore because technology has really advanced to the point where almost anything is possible through the connection of computers and iPhones, and in the sense that moving data and stuff, and being able to have malleable files, in the sense that we did it before. You used to have a CD, you lost a CD, it's gone forever. Now that's not an issue anymore. You have it on the cloud, you have 3 backups, you have versions of what you had before. It's just incredible. And I promise to keep this one a little bit shorter, but what surprised me was in this tech was really the screencasting and the games and how those can be applicable to your learning experience. I think this class is a good example of screencasting, in the sense that you can speak to your teacher and you can see the lesson at the same time, pause it, grab a coffee and come right back and pick up the lesson without interrupting your professor or interrupting any of the class, because you can really do things at your own pace. And I think as someone, as I spoke earlier, someone who likes to see things done, being the ability to just rewind time and watch a professor do a math problem again, or do a physics problem again, I can understand it. It's not like, okay, like where did he go? What is he doing? You can just go back and look and just rewind time and see it again, which is an incredible feat. And then most of these times, the comment section, you can ask a question and maybe the professor will reply, or someone else in the class that knows enough or knows what you're talking about can answer the question. And having that community built upon just like this virtual classroom is really, really just surprising, and it's really made me rethink about the online class and the structure of how classes are going to be in the future. Because the better meetings get, the better these technologies get, we're going to start seeing them kind of, I feel, replace physical and impersonal encounters, other than just for like business meetings. And most of this time, I think collaboration is going to be started taking through online means, and using screencasting has been a great surprise towards that. And the games, to a lesser extent, I didn't know how helpful they could be. I really, I've tried a few iPhone games, but not my favorite thing in the world. But nonetheless, I was quite surprised by the availability of it and how helpful it is to other students. Maybe not to me, but it seems to be very helpful to other students, and having that is quite a surprise, to be honest. Now, to which technologies I don't really work with. I think games I went into a little bit. They're just kind of not my style, but I've used some. They're kind of entertaining, and I know that they were quite surprising for other students. I saw that it was helpful for them, but for me, not as much. As well as podcast, for the same reason that I said in my first video, I'm an existential learner, and so I like to see and I like to visualize and be able to repeat things like in the screencast, whereas in the podcast, you just kind of audio, and a lot of the times, especially if they're describing something like math or whatever, something that I need to like see, it doesn't work for me. They could keep on talking and they could explain it a million reasons, but until I get another piece of paper and I write it down myself, I will just not understand what they're saying. And so I think that has an issue with it. Even like for something like geography, which I'm very, very, very proficient in geography, And even when I'm listening to the BBC World News, sometimes they say something and I miss it, and just because I missed this one little part, I'm totally thrown off for the rest of the story, or miss the name, especially with some of these ISIS fighters and their very Arabic names like mine. Well, sometimes I get confused in the names and I don't really understand it, and very quickly I lose interest just because I don't understand it, and it's because the podcasts just don't work with my learning style. And then the last thing I didn't really work with was the social bookmarks like Dig and Delicious, whereas I kind of explained it in in the videos before that I didn't. I use Safari bookmarks a lot more, and I feel that having those bookmark sites where their aggregates kind of have been replaced by others like Reddit and having your Safari, Google Chrome bookmarks, and so I don't really use those as much. I wasn't very interested. It don't very work well with me. But as far as just me not working well with a technology, it'd probably be the podcast, just because all that audio just kind of goes in one ear and exits the other. There's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately.